Hello and welcome to the 2022 Wave 1 release for Dynamics 365. With me today is practice lead Mark Cotton. And Mark, welcome again. It only seems like 5 minutes since we did our last fireside chat.
Really quick, don't they?
They do. It's quite a spring-like day today outside. You've got your gardener busy working away.
Don't tell everyone I've got a gardener. What will they think?
We need to share these things. We need to share these things. Hopefully, the cleaner won't be starting with the vacuum cleaner shortly as well. So, and yeah, the sound will cut through, and you'll be nice and clear. So, Mark, I think today we're going to discuss aspects that affect everybody in terms of the functionality and the interface of the new release that everybody will have access to in April, I believe.
Yeah, there's two ways of looking at what we were going to do in this video. So we thought we could concentrate on some of the enhancements that are coming to the sales module or the customer service module or whatever, but that's not going to affect everybody because not everybody uses those elements of the solutions that we build for them. So similar to what we did with the Wave 2 from last year, we concentrated on things that everyone is going to be able to take advantage of straight away from the beginning of April. There are things that will be available to everybody. So if you can recall from that video, that was quite well received. So I thought we'd try and do the same again this time round.
Okay. Well, it's getting very hot in here with that fireside burning away. So let's crack on.
Okay, all right, great. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new modern interface to Advanced Find. Now, Advanced Find is a very well used tool within Dynamics. It's a tool that people use to allow them to go and search for data. They can add criteria, then they can sort the data and so on and so forth. So it's a very well used tool. And you get to it by a little funnel icon that's up on the toolbar up at the top here. So the first thing, and this is why I wanted to cover this actually, because that'll be the first thing that will fill people with dread when their solution is updated with Wave 1. Their funnel will have disappeared, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get no end of support calls about it as well, because it really is a very well used tool. So the funnel has disappeared from here. So how do we now get to Advanced Find if we aren't able to click on the funnel? Well, what we have in this search at the top, this is called the Dataverse search. So when we click into the Dataverse search up at the top, this appears, and what we have at the bottom is the button here that allows us to get to the Advanced Find. So if I click on that,
it's such a well-used tool that they've hidden it there.
Well, I think let's just close off that just for a second and let's just go through this. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage people to use this because people don't actually, and it's so powerful. I mean, just to give you an example of it, if I just, we've gone off track a little bit here now, we're not concentrating on advanced search, advanced find just for a second, but this Dataverse search is so powerful. If I just type in the word Alpine, for example, and hit enter, okay, it searches across the entire system and finds everywhere where it sees the word Alpine. So you can see I've got one account, 3 opportunities, etc., etc. So I can go and have a look at those 3 opportunities that have the word Alpine in them. So I think what Microsoft are doing by hiding it, as you've said, up in here, is they're trying to encourage people to actually start making some use of this thing because it's really powerful. So let's get back to where we were. If I click into there and click on the button at the bottom to get into Advanced Find, we arrive at the first part of Advanced Find where we choose the table that we want to search for our data. So let's just search in the accounts entity. And this is the new modern interface for Advanced Find. It's similar in a lot of respects in that what we used to do is we used to say things like status equals active, owner equals me, those kinds of things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to build out a quick little Advanced Find to find all customers that are either in Dallas or Redmond. So I'll add a group in here and I'll say or because I want customers that are either in Dallas or Redmond. So I can choose city equals Dallas and do the same thing again add another row, city equals Redmond. Okay. Something that's the people that use advanced find a lot will find really useful is when you're adding things into this criteria. So if I just, I won't actually press enter on this next one, but if we add another row just here, when I'm in here, finally, I can start typing in there now. So I can type in address one and hold on, address one, city. Oh, it's okay. It's stopped on there. But finally, we can do sort of like IntelliType to um, search for the field name,
Yeah.
whereas previously we had to just scroll and scroll and scroll and learn our alphabet and know where the fields were. So that's really quite useful. So I've done the filter bit here. So this will find me all accounts where they are currently active and they are either in Dallas or Redmond. So I'll apply that filter. Okay, and here it is. Now, a couple of things to note. What we've now done is we've modified, or it appears that we've modified that view of data that we were in previously. Previously, we were in active accounts, but it's got a little star next to it. So that star tells me that this view of data is not yet saved, but I can do that. So I can save this as a new view, and I can call it active accounts in Dallas or Redmond. Okay. Okay, so after saving the view, we can now see that we have our drop down here, active accounts in Dallas or Redmond. And you can see by that little symbol that it's a personal view. So these ones are system views, and that one's a personal view. There's a whole bunch of stuff to say about this as well, a whole bunch of stuff that we've now got available to us in this manage shared views. Manage and share views option at the bottom. So this is another new area. So let's just have a quick look at that, because often people find that the amount of views that are available here in this drop down is immense. You know, people scrolling up and down to find the views that they use, and generally speaking, depending on your role, you may use 2 or 3 different views day in, day out, and most of them you'll never use. So if we go into manage views, one of the things that we can now do is we can click on this little button here to hide the views that we don't use. So let me just do that. And let's, what I'll do is I'll delete this one. This is one that we prepared earlier. So let me just get rid of that one so we don't have duplicates. Okay. And I'll make my view that I just created, my Dallas and Redmond one, I'll make that my default view. So you can see here within this managed views screen, I've just done a few things. I've hidden some views, I deleted one, and I've also made this one my default. So I'll click on apply. Okay, and what we'll now see is much shorter list of views. They are all still there. We can just go back into the manage views and unhide one if we want. Okay, but it just makes it a much more usable, much more pleasant user experience in that you don't have that great big long list of views to scroll up and down. So that's quite cool. Back to manage views just briefly. Often we find that people will create a view and it becomes their go-to view because it's useful, and then they speak to their colleagues about it, and their colleagues want that same view creating for them. And in the old advanced find screen, you could of course share the views, but it was a bit clunky, whereas now it's a little bit more of a pleasant user experience. So we can share our view, we can go and find the person that we want to share it with. Okay, and Mark, should share it with Mark and Adam. All right, and we can say that Mark can only read this view, but Adam can both read it and change it, and so we can share that. Okay, so that view has now been shared out to those guys. So all in all, just a more pleasant user experience around the views. We've got these buttons at the top here. Now, we covered this on the last wave, but it bears repeating. So I'll just go through it again. Let's say, for example, in my active Dallas and Redmond's view, I want to also have the credit limit coming through into this. We've got the ability now to just click edit columns, add a column, go and search. Again, great that we can search through that list now rather than having to scroll up and down to try and find it. Get credit limit, put it into the right place where we want it to appear, click apply, and there's credit limit. Let's resize it a little bit and let's save changes. Okay, so that's covering the new
Yeah.
advanced find.
Yeah, I think this is again, I think we touched on this last time. It's not necessarily new functionality, but actually it exposes some of the power of dynamics that maybe users it wasn't so evident before with the tools, the way they use them.
Yeah,
So
and Advanced Find was one of those things that was ripe for bringing up to the modern interface as well. It
mm,
hadn't changed for years. In fact, I don't think it had ever changed. To bring it up to the a more modern interface.
yeah,
But it's it's one of the most favourite tools of people that use it because it really gives you the ability to really dig down into your data.
yeah. I know
So, yeah,
it's often said that people only use a fraction of the functionality within the likes of Dynamics and other similar products. And actually, what Microsoft are doing is trying to raise that, raise that. And of course, while working with the likes of Mark Cotton and the team, we can always make sure that you're getting the very most from these tools. So, thank you, Mark. So that's Advanced Find. I think you were going to talk about Teams and some of the
yeah.
integration that's starting to occur there.
Yeah, so let's just go and have a look at a recent record. So let's just go and have a look at a contact record that we've got within the system. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a new meeting with Kevin. So normal thing on the timeline, we do. Anybody that uses Dynamics will do this kind of thing to add activities to the timeline. So I'll add a new meeting,
Is this your
and
gardener? Is it? Where you're scheduling a meeting to discuss performance and SLAs?
my gardener posts photos of his work on Facebook. So yeah, I might schedule a meeting to talk about that. Um, uh,
God.
okay. Um, but what we now have when we're creating a meeting is we have this new toggle button just here, a Teams meeting. So what this will do is when I press save, it will add the normal link that we see in Teams meetings. It'll add it into the body of the meeting invite. Now, people that use Outlook and Teams day in, day out don't really use that link in the body of the email, but not everybody uses Teams and Outlook, do they? People use Gmail and Apple Mail and that sort of stuff. So it's important that the link to the team gets put into the body of the meeting request as well. So this makes it a team meeting, but it also does that bit about putting the link into the body. So if I save and close that, okay, what we'll see if we open the meeting is that we now have the ability from within Dynamics to join the Teams meeting. So this is the bit that's new. So we've created the meeting and said that it is a Teams meeting, but Dynamics also is aware of that and as such allows us to join the Teams meeting from within Dynamics. Okay, so not having to be in Teams, not having to be in Outlook necessarily, we can join it here. Now, for this demo instance of Dynamics here, I've not got it integrated into my Teams. So I'll join the Teams meeting through the browser rather than actually using the Teams app. But as you can see, so from Dynamics, I've clicked into the meeting, I've clicked on the join the meeting link, and in we go into Teams. I'll close that down because goodness knows what will happen because we're recording this demo in Teams. If I click anything in there, I have
Yeah.
no idea what will happen. So I'll close that down quickly. But
Yeah,
we
the universal collapse or something. It's teams within
you
teams within teams.
get into one of those infinite loops. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just a nice little bit of. I mean, we've had the idea of Teams integration mooted for some time now, but finally, we're starting to see these bits creeping their way into the tools that we use. So yeah, nice little bit just there.
Hmm. And just in
I know.
terms of scheduling an appointment, is that something you can do within the app, within the Dynamics app, if you've got it on your phone as
Oh,
such?
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Essentially, the app on the phone is just a cut down version of this. It's, if you like, almost like resized screens. So
Mm,
yes, absolutely. Most of the functionality that's available here is available in the app. There is some new stuff coming in the app specifically, but not it's not yet available for me to demo it. So it's in wave one, 2022 wave one, but it's not going to be hitting us in April. So when it becomes available for me to demo it, we'll do another one of these videos, because there is some cute stuff that's mobile specific that's coming.
okay, good
That's
stuff.
good. Um, One of the other things I wanted to show, okay, and it was quite intentional that I went onto the Kevin Martin contact, is this sneaky little button at the top here. Okay, this tells me that a chap called Mark Britton is also looking at this contact record within Dynamics at the same time. So I'm logged in as Mark Cotton, okay, MC, but I can see that a chap called Mark Britton is also looking at this record. And it really does mean that. It means that Mark Britton has this contact record open on his screen at the moment. Okay.
Trying to poach your gardener, Mark.
Indeed. So let's what we can do now is we can start a Teams chat between us. Okay. And when I start the Teams chat, the message starts with the link to the Kevin record. There it is. Okay. So I can post that link through like that, and I can say, why are you looking at my garden? And then over on my other screen, I'm going to pretend to be Mark Britton and reply. Well, we all know how Teams works. We
Yeah.
don't need to see me replying to Teams messages. But yeah, it's another one of those cute little, really useful bits of Teams integration, I think, where
Yeah,
now finally we've got presence of colleagues, so we can see who else is looking at a particular record. So imagine, a sales opportunity, two people working on a sales opportunity. They can see that they are, and then can start having conversations about it. So,
I think it's great timing, isn't it? Because we're moving into this hybrid working world at the moment where not everybody's in the office sharing those little discussions, but this can help facilitate that
yeah,
somewhat. So that's good timing.
absolutely. So yeah, so I know that's just three things, but three nice little bits of functionality that everybody's going to be able to use from the beginning of April. So the dates, we'll put the dates through in the notes at the bottom of the recording around when Wave 2 is going to hit, because primarily Crimson customers either have their Dynamics solution in UK or Europe, and the Wave 1 will hit a week apart in those two regions. So we'll document that at the bottom. But generally speaking, everybody will be upgraded, and these features will be available to all of our customers
Mm.
within the first half of April.
Okay, fantastic. Well, for viewers, if you're viewing this on YouTube, we'll include a link back to our blog at crimson.co.uk. So our blog post is the main source of additional information about things like release dates that we'll update as we learn a little bit more about news from Microsoft. And just on that point as well, I mean, today Marcus talked about functionality that's going to affect everybody. But actually, there are additional pieces that might be relevant for sales users and others, and we have published a couple of blog posts about that too separately. So if you do want more information, please visit crimson.co.uk and /blog, and you'll find more information there from our blog post. And of course, if you are a customer of Crimson and you want to learn even more about what it means to you, you'll have already received emails inviting you to a bit more discussion with your account managers. But feel free to pick up the call. We're here and we're happy to help. So with that, I'll leave you, Mark, now to go and sort out your garden. Enjoy the rest of your day in your pleasant English garden.
Thanks, Mark. What
Yeah.
will people think of me?
Okay.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Mark, for the update, and
Cheers.
we'll speak soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.